Welcome to my first kind of real budget video on becoming a housewife. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about creating a Christmas budget. Now you might think, well, Christmas just happened, it's January, but the reason I'm talking to you about that today is because, as my husband and I learned the hard way, we need to start saving for Christmas in January. My husband makes a pretty good salary, and typically we just live month to month, and whatever is in the bank that's excess we set aside and put into savings, and we just spend what's in the account. And I learned that we are living not on a budget, but we're living kind of paycheck to paycheck by not accounting for where every dollar goes. And so at the beginning of the season, I asked my husband, I said, well, how much do you think we should, kind of budget for Christmas? And he said $600. And I was like, sure, that sounds good. Well, as the season progresses and as I'm starting to make lists of everything that we're buying, I came to the realization that we spent way over $600. We spent $1,400. And I think that has typically been our routine in the past years, is to just spend whatever we have, and if we have extra, we spend extra. If we don't have extra, we don't spend it. But there's no reason why we shouldn't have budgeted and planned ahead for Christmas and had money set aside in our Christmas funds, so that come November we're not stressed out because our budget is so low. And that did happen to us this December, where it's like, we realized, oh, we are spending all of our money. Do we even have enough money to pay our bills? And I haven't been tracking that, because typically, we can just pay it off. It's not a big deal for us. However, as Dave Ramsey says, Christmas isn't an emergency. It isn't something where you don't know that it's coming. It's like you have all year long to prepare for Christmas. So knowing now that my husband and I spent roughly around $1,400 for Christmas, that put in my mindset, okay, well, we need to start saving for Christmas in January. We need to start setting that money aside. Now, what I want to show you today is my Christmas spreadsheet, and show you how you can go through the process of making your own spreadsheet, so that you can find out how much you need to budget for Christmas for next year, so that you can start those sinking funds this year, so that you can be prepared for your upcoming Christmas. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into that. And I do have to say, I apologize that I'm not showing you this on my computer as I speak. I don't know how to do that yet as far as video camera setup goes. Hopefully by the time that I go over my Christmas budget with you next year, I will have that figured out. But today, please bear with me as I show you my spreadsheets on paper. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that. Okay, here is the budget. This is just page 1. I made this on Google Docs on the Excel sheet. I titled it Christmas 2017, and I divided it up into 5 sections. Who it's for, what the item is, where I bought it, the price, and the destination. The destination was mostly just for my own organization purpose, so that I knew which things were stocking things, I knew which things were tree things. So my husband is Eddie, and he asked for a certain amount of things that he put on his Amazon wish list, and we kind of set the tentative budget for each other. Initially we set around 100 for each other. It got bumped up to 200, and I went a little bit over on Eddie's. The main reason I went over is because I was trying to buy a $10 Panda Express gift card for him for a stocking, but Panda Express was sold out of gift cards, and the only one I could find was at Smith's for $25. So that's kind of what put me over the 200 limit by around $17.56. And so that is kind of what I got for him. Now, if we move it along here, I didn't necessarily know what my husband was getting me as I was putting this on. So I did this all after Christmas. I went back to our records to see what the budget was. And he got me some really, really great things. I was super happy with what I got for Christmas, but we did go a little bit overboard with that budget. As you can see, the total was $332.59. So next year, hopefully we can get that down a little bit, because I think staying around the $200 price range for each other would probably be a pretty healthy amount to budget for Christmas. Now, this last little section here, this is for my baby. You can't really see it so great, but I have record of all of the gifts that we got him. We said around $50, and I spent $58.78, which wasn't too far off. A lot of it was last minute things, like I realized, even though he's 9 months and just getting baby teeth, I found out that you should start them on a little starter toothbrush just to kind of give them something to chew on, and I thought, well, that would be a fun thing to put in a stocking, so I added that onto the budget. Now, this is our dog tax. So I put every single person that we possibly spent for Christmas on. We got him 20 tennis balls for $12.87. We had budgeted around $10 for him. You can tell each one of these little things we've gone over. Now, the big category where we really went over was for family and friends. We had a family name with my husband's family, his sister Alicia. We normally say around $20 for a budget. We spent $30.78. My mom, for parents, we say about $50 per person, but my siblings and I all went together, and we got her a really nice cuckoo clock, and the budget remaining on that for us ended up being $155. I still have a few siblings that owe me money, so maybe that will come back, but my husband and I aren't necessarily counting on getting that money back at this point. If they get it to us, great. If they don't, we're going to just cut that on our losses. We also got my mom and dad an Ancestry DNA test. My husband thought if we're getting one for my dad, we should probably get one for my mom too. And so, yeah, we went over the budget on that one too. We also bought my mom and dad Star Wars tickets. And for my husband's parents, we were pretty good about staying in budget with them. We probably were a little bit under. This is my husband's stepmom. We got her some chocolate. We got his dad a Google Home. We got his little brother a coloring book. His 26-year-old brother, we got him the Farming Animals coloring book, which he thought was funny, and he drew us a picture, put it on our fridge. We were able to get a really good deal on another Google Home for his mom. His stepdad, we got him a book. We got Grandma some note cards, and then we had some white elephant parties that we went to in my family, and we budgeted about $5 each for the white elephants, and we stayed pretty good there. Now, $472.64. This is the number that really kind of killed our budget as far as gifts for other people. We typically say about $50 for parents, and we spent about $200 on my mom. So next year we need to really make sure that we stay within that budget. This was a special year because she wanted a cuckoo clock really badly. She's wanted one forever, and my siblings and I went in together to get her one. So it was really special to have that, but if we want to do something like that in the future, Eddie and I probably need to make sure that we have in our budget before we do it at the last minute. Now, this next section is for friends and neighbors. Eddie's work, he didn't get him anything, he gave him love. His good friend, they were moving, so he spent quite a few days helping them move right before Christmas. He forgot to get some other presents for his friends. My friend and I, we went out to lunch and we counted that good. So in our neighborhood, people normally do neighbor gifts. And last year, I got these really cute Christmas checklists for about 10 cents a piece at Michael's. And I just put a little pencil on it, so it says, have fun making your list and checking them twice. And so pencils were 10 for $1. So that was a pretty good deal. And the checklists were 10 cents a piece, and I gave those to all my neighbors. So I said, that was probably around $5, and I find that the best time to get your neighbor gifts is at the end of the season, generally. Then we had a book club gift. I did a bunch of checklists as my favorite things, White Elephant, and with the checklists that I had created over the year, I also included some markers for the person that got it. So these were just custom little checklists, like maybe a summer bucket list, workout checklist, things that you just kind of put on your fridge. That my husband and I, just some goal-oriented things like a vacation tracker, like how to save for vacations. And so that was my book club gift. This next section in pink is for Christmas pajamas. So I really tried to include everything that we got and spent on Christmas. So I got some cute Disney Christmas pajamas for my son. My pajamas were more expensive because they're maternity, and I just find that I can't just go grab something cheap because maternity clothes are more expensive. And my husband, I just got him a pajama shirt. He has plenty of pajama bottoms. And so our total for all of our Christmas pajamas was $57.87. I think I would like to set that to be around $50 a month. $50 total for Christmas pajamas. This orange section right here was for holiday cards. And this is another thing that you might not think about to put on your Christmas list, but to take our holiday pictures cost about $141. To buy the cards themselves, I spent $45.04, and stamps were about $20.56 or $85. Sorry. And I found out as I was getting all of our pictures and stuff together, knowing that I'm really trying to stay below a budget, that I want to, make sure that I'm getting the best bang for my buck. I found out that the earlier you print your cards, they give you bigger discounts. So if I were to have printed my cards in October, I would have had a 45% discount at ProDigital, where I printed off my prints. If you get your holiday pictures at Camera Shy earlier in the year, you can find deals throughout, but we just did it all last minute. And then our last section was for giving. We did about $35 in charitable donations, and in the past we've done more around $100. And I really would like to be more generous with our money, but by the end of the holiday season, knowing that we spent so much, that was the thing that we kind of cut, was our generous giving. Once we found out that we were kind of struggling at the end to pay our bills. And so next year, our financial goals will be, I want to stay around $1,200. I don't think we need to go so high. $1,400 seems excessive for the two of us and a baby, and we'll have another baby next year, but I'm not huge into giving them these huge extravagant gifts when they're so little. And so I think next year the plan will be $1,200, and to really, really make sure we stick to that budget and to look for deals throughout the whole year. Now, with $1,200, there are 12 months in the year, so that means that each month, starting January, I need to start setting $100 aside and put it into that sinking fund so that when December hits, we take that envelope, we take that money that we've set aside, and we put it into, and we give that money to each other so that we can make our Christmas purchases. And then by doing that, we're not cutting into our December budget, that we're still able to save and finance according to, just making our financial goals instead of spending all of our money and being broke at the end of the month. So I think next year is going to be a really great Christmas because we'll have money set aside, and it'll bring peace of mind knowing, hey, I have $1,200 for Christmas. And Eddie can have $200 cash. I'll have $200 cash. He can spend that $200 on me. I'll spend that $200 on him. And we know once we've hit that limit that, our spending for each other is done. And then with our children, we'll set probably a $50 budget for each of our children. So again, we'll take that cash, and whatever we get with $50, that will be their gift. And then we need just to make sure that we keep our allotments of our separate each account, make sure that we have that pretty even. So I guess if we say 200 here, 200 here, $50 for my baby, and then we'll have another baby. So that'll be another $50. So that is $500 right there. 10 for the dog. So 510. So let's see, 510. If we stay around $400, which hopefully we can cut that down, but if we stay around $400 for family, that would make that 910. We probably will spend more than $898 on friends and family next year, probably $20. So let's say 930. And I said we want to stay around $50 for pajamas, so 980. And then if we say 980 plus, let's say about $200 budget for Christmas cards, so 1,080, 1,180. So that leaves us, that would only leave us about $20 for generous giving, if we want to have a $1,200 budget. So probably would go back and see where we can cut on this category. Again, probably don't need to spend an additional $155 on my mom. So maybe make this category $300, and then that would give us $120 to give to donations, which is something that I think is really important for us to do. I definitely want to teach my children to see the needs of other people at Christmas time and be able to give service, and any financial service that we could give, that would be great. So if we do that, if we change, so if in theory I say 200 here, 200 here, 200 for my husband, 200 for me, 50 for baby Edwin, 50 for the next baby that we have, so that's 500, 10 for the dog, 510, and we say 300 right here, so 810, 20 right here, so 830, plus another 50, so 880, stay for around 200 here, 880, 980, 1080. Yeah, so that gives us 120 left with a little bit of wiggle room. We might use that $20 left for gift wrap, for odds and ends that come up, but that should leave us about $100 for generous giving, which would be around more of the area that I would want to invest in for next year for Christmas. Definitely make sure that we are giving more to those who need it, because obviously my husband and I, we have so many amazing blessings in our lives financially, and so it's definitely fun to find people who can use those gifts and to help bless their lives. So that will be our financial goals for Christmas next year, and it'll be fun to go back it'll be fun to save this year and to see how we do making those goals. So I encourage you to go back through your budgets, starting October, whenever you start your Christmas shopping, and go back and consider, how much did you spend on each person? How much did you spend for Christmas total? How much do you need to save for next year so that you can create those sinking funds, so that you can set that money aside, so that when Christmas comes around, you won't deplete your entire bank account and wonder if you can, make your mortgage payment or not, because you spent $1,400 on Christmas without budgeting for it. So hopefully this gives you some help. It definitely gives me help and motivation making this video, sharing it with you, because I can see all the areas that I need to improve on. And yeah, so I'm super glad to be able to do this and share this with you. And I will go ahead and sign off now. Have a great day. Bye.